John, very good to see you. A really important topic today, protecting a child with disabilities through estate planning. The cost of raising a child to 18 now costs about $300,000. That doesn't even include college. And for a child with special needs, that cost can more than triple. So without proper planning, your child's lifetime needs can quickly outstrip your funds. So we're going to talk through some action steps. First, make sure that you have an updated estate plan that reflects your wishes.
This is important for anybody, but particularly if you have a special needs child. These people are really dependent upon their caregivers, their trustees, the attorneys, their CPAs. Everybody needs to really be in concert on this one to make sure things are in order. So power of attorney or a trust that was done 10 years ago for a special needs child is probably too old. You really need to update that.
And a special needs trust should probably be considered as well, right?
Very much so. The special needs trust is specifically made to help
hmm
preserve the assets for that child, and they need to do it in a special way.
hmm Next, of course, estate planning for a child with disabilities is not a one and done process, John, but something that you really need to be revisiting.
You must, and a good example is we've seen over the years where somebody had as a power of attorney maybe their brother or sister, and before they know it, their brother and sister are in their 80s with them.
Right.
And so the next thought is, well, who takes care of them now, and where are they going to live? That those are critical decisions and really important to bring up with this whole collective planning. But yes, you must update those along the way to make sure you are with current laws, and also just give the tools to that trustee to help take care of your child as best as possible.
Right. Second step here, make sure that your estate plan is in line with government benefits.
Sure. Anytime you're dealing with special needs, you're talking in government benefits. There's going to be some means tested requirements, and what you want to do is make sure you're working with, again, a qualified attorney, and make sure you have your financial planner that's able to work with them in a sound way to make sure things are set up properly, so that if there are benefits that person can qualify for, that those benefits are there for them, and perhaps also have some assets in the background that the trustee can go get their hands on to help with some miscellaneous items.
hmm Next, of course, you need to identify a caregiver, and this should happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I had an aunt that was special needs, so this is something that's near and dear to our hearts. We've seen it, we've lived it. She lived in a small town along the Ohio River, and it's a very small town. And my grandma was getting in her 80s, and we were all worried about where she was going to end up. And in her scenario, she unfortunately got cancer and passed away prior to my grandmother.
Mm.
But the thought was still there: is, are we going to move this child out of somewhere where they've lived their whole lives and move them to a whole different world? It'd be a pretty big change. So I think it's important to work with family and, again, the attorney, the financial planner, all those things, put all those things together so that way it's as seamless as possible when that scenario happens.
Right. And just because it's so important, it is worth repeating whenever possible. Involve the whole family and seek that professional guidance because this is such a specialized and important topic.
Sure. And I think really a big thing to incorporate the family on is, where's this person going to live?
Yeah.
And sometimes the plan is, hey, well, we'll just keep her in the house. We're going to give that house to the child. Well, how is she going to maintain the house?
Right.
What happens to her if she falls and those type of things? So the main thing is really try to be very, very proactive, I think is the term here. Get there ahead of time and update it along as you go. And hopefully you can set your child up for success.
Mm-hmm. Well, John, obviously this is something that you know personally and professionally. If somebody would like to have this conversation with you, how can they reach you?
Yes, 440-471-4300 is the best way to reach us. Give us a call, and it's one of those things where this is one you need to walk down. This is a process. This is not something you go to someone's office and have a plan that day. It really is an ongoing process,
Right.
and really the initial process, probably you're looking at a month to just get it rolling.
So important. All right, John, thanks so much for your time today.
Great. Thank you so much. Take care.